Hello everybody. Today in this lecture we are going to discuss election commission. As far as the chapter 3rd of your book is concerned, so far we have discussed democracy and its types, election and its types, and then electoral system, wherein we have discussed first past the post system, and then proportional representation and its various variations. And we have also discussed which electoral system is used in India. For example, for the elections of Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies, we follow first past the post system, whereas for the elections of president, vice president, Rajya Sabha, state legislative council, we follow proportional representation with single transferable vote. So today we are going to discuss election commission, and when I say election commission, it means election commission of India. So election commission is an independent constitutional body, and it is also a permanent body. So here I have written about constitutional body. Why I call it constitutional body? Because it is constitutional body in the sense because it has its mention in the constitution. Likewise, Union Public Service Commission (UPSC) उसका भी mention है constitution में, and that is also a constitutional body. For example, women's के लिए एक commission है, that is statutory commission, because that commission was formed by the Act of Parliament. While as constitutional body जो होती है, it finds its origin in the Constitution. जो statutory body होती है, वो एक Act of Parliament के through बनाई जाती है. So the first point you have to remember is that Election Commission is an independent and constitutional body, and it is also a permanent body. As far as Election Commission of India is concerned, it was formed on 25 January 1950, and since then each year we celebrate 25 January as National Voters' Day. My dears, when we were discussing Constitution and its parts, I have told you at that time that there is a part related with the subject matter of elections in our Constitution, which is part 15 of Indian Constitution, and it covers the articles 324 to 329. So, Election Commission का क्या काम है? Why it has been given constitutional status? Why it is an independent body? Why it is a permanent body? My dears, when a particular game is played between two teams, between two parties, you might have noticed that there is umpire, there is referee. So if any dispute arises over there, so that dispute is settled by the umpire or by that referee. So in the same way, elections जो होते हैं, imagine elections are like a game, and you need a referee, you need an umpire, and you need some rules, you need some regulations. तो वही काम यहाँ पे election commission करता है. For example, कल ही 4 state assemblies और 1 UT के election results आए हैं. किसने डिक्लेयर किया है? पार्लियामेंट ने, स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली ने? नो, इट वाज इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया व्हिच डिक्लेयर्ड रिजल्ट्स. ठीक है? Even it was Election Commission of India which notified the dates on which these elections were held. So Article 324 of the Indian Constitution deals with that Article 324 of the Indian Constitution states that power of superintendence, direction and control of elections for Parliament, state legislative assemblies, office of the President and office of the Vice President shall be vested in the Election Commission. माय डियर्स, आर्टिकल 324 के मुताबिक पार्लियामेंट के इलेक्शन को सुपरिंटेंडेंट कौन करेगा? इलेक्शन कमीशन। इसी तरीके से स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली के इलेक्शंस को डायरेक्ट कौन करेगा? इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया। इसी तरीके से जब प्रेसिडेंट का इलेक्शन होगा उसको डायरेक्ट और सुपरवाइज कौन करेगा? इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया। यहां पे हियर यू हैव टू रिमेंबर वन ऑफ द इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स। सी, पार्लियामेंट का इलेक्शन हुआ, लोकसभा राज्यसभा का, स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर का, स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली का, स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल का। इसी तरीके से ऑफिस ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट का इलेक्शन होता है, ऑफिस ऑफ द वाइस प्रेसिडेंट का इलेक्शन होता है। तो इनको सुपरवाइज, डायरेक्ट और कंट्रोल कौन करता है? इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया। ठीक है, इट इज, यू कैन से दैट इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया इज एन ऑल इंडिया बॉडी। ठीक है, लेकिन माय डियर्स, elections are also held for panchayats, municipalities. You have already you have already read about decentralization, wherein local body units are created. For example, panchayats के लिए election होते हैं, municipalities के लिए election होते हैं। तो उनको उन elections को, for example, who supervises the elections of panchayats and municipalities? It is state election commission. State election commission. My dears, here you have to differentiate between election commission of India and state election commissions. देखिए, election commission of India has been entrusted with the work to hold and direct the elections of parliament का, दोनों हाउसेस का, लोकसभा का भी, राज्यसभा का भी। इसी तरीके से स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर का, स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली का भी, स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल का भी। इसी तरीके से ऑफिस ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट का भी, ऑफिस ऑफ द वाइस प्रेसिडेंट का। बट who will direct, who will supervise the elections of panchayats, the elections of municipalities? It is state election commissions. ठीक है, स्टेट इलेक्शन कमीशन का क्या काम है? टू सुपरवाइज एंड डायरेक्ट द elections of local bodies, for example municipalities का या पंचायत का। तो इसी तरीके से जो इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया है, इसका एक चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर है और अदर कमिश्नर्स हैं। इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया जो है, इसका चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर है, चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर एंड अदर इलेक्शन कमिश्नर्स। तो हियर फ्रॉम द एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, यू हैव टू हियर रिमेंबर हु वाज द, यू हैव टू हियर रिमेंबर टू नेम्स। पहला, हु वाज द फर्स्ट चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर ऑफ इंडिया, एक वो। नंबर 2, हु इज द इनकम्बेंट चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर ऑफ इंडिया? तो पहला कौन था? सुकुमार सेन। सुकुमार सेन। और आज कौन है इनकम्बेंट? सुशील चंद्रा। And he was appointed on 13 April 2021. I would say a week ago he was appointed as Chief Election Commissioner of India. तो ये जो Chief Election Commissioner होता है, who appoints him? It is President. President appoints him. आज these days चीफ इलेक्शन जो इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया है, इट इज अ मल्टी मेंबर बॉडी। तो मैंने कहा इट इज कॉन्स्टिट्यूटेड ऑफ चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर एंड अदर कमिश्नर्स अपॉइंटेड बाय द प्रेसिडेंट। तो पहला चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर कौन था इंडिया का? सुकुमार सेन। और आज का कौन है? प्रेजेंटली इट इज सुशील चंद्रा। ये बेसिकली मेनली IAS ऑफिसर्स होते हैं या इंडियन रेवेन्यू ऑफिसर्स होते हैं, इन्हीं को ये पोस्ट दिए जाते हैं। तो इनको प्रेसिडेंट अपॉइंट करता है, ठीक है। तो इसके बाद इनका जो 3 ईयर होता है, मतलब हाउ लॉन्ग दे कैन सर्व एज चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर्स, तो इनका जो 3 ईयर है वो है either 65 years of age once they have attained 65 years of age, or 6-year term, whichever is earlier. इनमें से जो भी पहले आएगा उसी से डिसाइड किया जाता है। एक है once a chief election commissioner attained age of 65, तो he has to retire, or if he had completed the 6-year term, उसको रिटायर होना पड़ेगा, ठीक है। और another point, चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर कैन बी रिमूव्ड, ठीक है, इसको रिमूव भी किया जाता है, जैसे सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जज, जैसे अदर इंपॉर्टेंट पोजीशन होल्डर्स को रिमूव किया जाता है। और उस रिमूवल का क्या तरीका है, चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर कैन बी रिमूव्ड बाय a resolution passed by both the houses of parliament with special responsibility, with special majority, ठीक है। चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर को रिमूव भी किया जा सकता है by a resolution passed by both the houses of parliament with special majority. On the basis of that resolution, then president removes चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर। एंड सो फार आज तक ना किसी सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जज को रिमूव किया गया है, ना इलेक्शन कमिश्नर को रिमूव किया गया, बिकॉज इट इज अ टफ एंड कॉम्प्लिकेटेड प्रोसेस। माय डियर्स, जो इलेक्शन कमीशन है, इट वाज फॉर अ लॉन्गर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम after independence of India, it was a single member body. Then ये बनी है multi member body. Then again it was kept as a single member body, but presently it is a multi member body. Let me show you the dates here. My dears, as Article 324 states that Election Commission shall consist of Chief Election Commissioner and other commissioners as appointed by the President from time to time. So, since from its inception in 1950 to 1989, Election Commission of India remained a single member body, SMB, single member body. I would say it was a one-man army. But in 1989, Rajiv Gandhi government advised the president to appoint other 2 commissioners. So from 1989 to 1990, it became a multi-member body. So here it was Chief Election Commissioner plus 2 other election commissioners. And when there is Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners, the Chief Election Commissioner acts as a chairman of Election Commission. Chairman. My dears. When Election Commission is just a single member body, it is only headed by Chief Election Commissioner. But whenever it is a multi-member body, wherein there is Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners, तो वहां पे Chief Election Commissioner acts as a chairman of Election Commission. हाँ माय डियर्स, तो यहां पे क्या हुआ, अपोजिशन, वंस इलेक्शन कमीशन वाज मेड मल्टी मेंबर बॉडी, अपोजिशन ने उस वक्त रूलिंग गवर्नमेंट को क्रिटिसाइज किया कि दैट यू हैव अपॉइंटेड इलेक्शन कमिश्नर्स, अदर इलेक्शन कमिश्नर्स, and you are using them for your vested interests. So when that opposition government came into power under the leadership of VP Singh, तो उन्होंने क्या किया 1990 में इलेक्शन कमीशन, जो इलेक्शन कमीशन था, it was again it was again turned as a single member body. ठीक है, यहाँ पे फिर से इसको सिंगल मेंबर बॉडी बनाया गया because other two election commissioners were removed. ठीक है, then again in 1993 जो since it was now a single member body, now by the notification of the government it was again made multi-member body. So presently we have chief election commissioner and other two election commissioners. और यहाँ पे one of the important factors you have to remember, since from 1950 to 1989 it was a single member body. लेकिन 1989 में one of the important constitutional amendment was was undertaken. It was 61st constitutional amendment 1989, wherein 18 age was reduced from 21 to 18. तो इससे क्या हुआ, workload was increased on election commission. So in order to assist the chief election commissioner, other two commissioners were appointed and it was made a multi-member body. But opposition did not took this view into consideration. They criticized the government. And once they came to power, they have removed other election commissioners. They have, they have avoided this process of, they have avoided appointing other election commissioners. So finally, 1993 से आज तक जो election commission है, it acts as a multi-member body. लेकिन my dears, यहाँ पे आपको एक चीज याद रखना होगा. Since election commission presently is a multi-member body, wherein there is chief election commissioner and other election commissioners, लेकिन इनका जो पावर, सैलरी और अलाउंसेस वो सेम है. चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर एंड अदर इलेक्शन कमिश्नर्स, they have same power, same salary and same allowance. And in case there is a difference of opinion between these three people, so they decide the matter by the majority vote. So now you might be saying, so chief election commissioner and he acts as a chairman, he is just first among equals. ठीक है, first among equals. He has no, he has not more powers or more salary, more allowances than other election commissioners. My dears, now let us see the powers and functions of election commission. Number one, there are numerous functions that have been assigned to election commission. One of the functions is that it frames and revises electoral rules. आपने सुना होगा वोटर लिस्ट, तो वही इलेक्टोरल रूल्स का मतलब आप वही मान लो, वोटर लिस्ट. सो इलेक्शन कमीशन का क्या काम है माय डियर्स? It frames and revises the electoral rules. Revise क्यों करना पड़ता है? For example, those who have died, their name would be removed from the voter list. ठीक है? From the electoral rolls. And those who have attained the age of 18, they will be included in the voter list, and now they will be entitled to cast their vote. Number two, to ensure one of the important functions of Election Commission of India is that it has to ensure that elections are free and fair. There is no fear, there is no threat. They have to ensure it. And free and fair elections have been described by Supreme Court in one of the judgments as basic structure of the Constitution. They cannot be changed by the Parliament. So free and fair elections basically forms the basic structure of the Constitution, and it cannot be changed by anybody. So Election Commission has been given the responsibility to ensure free and fair elections. Recently, West Bengal में election हुए हैं, जिसका कल रिजल्ट आया है. असम में हुए हैं, साउदर्न स्टेट्स लाइक केरला में हुए, तमिलनाडु में हुए, एंड यूटी पुडुचेरी में हुए. तो इलेक्शन कमीशन का क्या काम होता है? टू मेक श्योर दैट इलेक्शंस आर फ्री एंड फेयर. My dears, you already know that political parties have their own, election symbols. ठीक है? उनको अलग, for example, if you have seen that Congress has hand as its election symbol. इसी तरीके से BJP का है वो lotus, ठीक है? And numerous political parties, some are having elephant, ठीक है? And आम आदमी पार्टी का है वो broom, ठीक है? So who allows these symbols to these political parties? It is basically election commission allows symbols to the political parties, and it is also the work of election commission to decide which political party is a national political party, which political party is a state party, which political party is a regional party. We will be dealing with these separately. For example, regional party क्या होता है, state party क्या होती है, national party क्या होती है. We will be discussing them in a separate lecture. One of the important functions of Election Commission of India is to issue code of conduct, to issue model code of conduct. ये model code of conduct क्या होता है? It is basically the guidelines, directions issued by the Election Commission of India to different political parties, candidates, and the government. For example, one of the rules, one of the directions in the code of model code of conduct is that you cannot hold a rally when it is just 48 hours for holding of the elections. ठीक है? Before 48 hours to the election, you cannot hold political rallies, you cannot hold processions. ठीक है? Or plus you cannot go into someone another's rally and propagate about your own political party over there. ठीक है? So these are some model code of conduct, some directions, some guidelines you have to follow, the candidates have to follow, and the ruling government has to follow. So ये code of conduct, if we look at the origin of this code of conduct, model code of conduct, ये originate कहाँ से हुआ? केरला से हुआ. ठीक है? केरला से, याद रखना. केरला से, केरला में in 1960, before the elections of state legislative assembly, political parties of Kerala made the consensus that they are going to follow a particular code of conduct before the election, such that the elections are held in a free and fair way, such that there is no intimidation, there is no threat, there is no fear to the voters. Another important function of Election Commission is to announce dates for the polls and to announce the results. हमारे इलेक्शन कमीशन जो है इसका काम क्या है? when a particular election in the state legislative assembly or state legislature or the parliament is going to happen, the date is issued by election commission of India, and when the results would be declared, और ये डेट भी इशू कौन करता है? इलेक्शन कमीशन. और इवन रिजल्ट्स इटसेल्फ आर डिक्लेयर्ड बाय इलेक्शन कमीशन. ठीक है, यू नो रिसेंटली लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबलीज के इलेक्शन हुए डिफरेंट स्टेट्स में, और वेस्ट बंगाल में हुए हैं इन 8 phases. 8 phases. Whereas in other states it was a single phase election, but in West Bengal it was state legislative assembly elections were held in 8 phases. So these directions were already issued by Election Commission of India, because West Bengal में वहाँ पे नक्सलिज्म के वाक़ात पेश आते हैं. That is why they have divided the election phase. ठीक है, उन्होंने कहा कि हम 8 phases वेस्ट बंगाल में करने जा रहे हैं, and in the southern states they have conducted it in a single day. And then कल रिजल्ट्स आए हैं, कल रिजल्ट्स अनाउंस हुए हैं, तो ये डेट सारा कुछ अनाउंस कौन करता है? इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया. ठीक है, सो माय डियर्स, बिफोर वाइंडिंग इट ऑफ, लेट्स हैव अ ब्रीफ relook what we did today, what we have done so far. Today we have discussed election commission, which I have told you that it is an independent, permanent and a constitutional body. Constitutional body और statutory body में फर्क. ठीक है, constitutional body जिसका mention constitution में itself है, और statutory body which is established by an act of parliament. और उसके बाद जो election commission basically एक all India body है, इसका क्या काम है? To hold the elections of parliament, लोकसभा और राज्यसभा के इलेक्शन, स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली के इलेक्शन, स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल के इलेक्शन, ऑफिस ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट के इलेक्शन एंड वाइस प्रेसिडेंट के इलेक्शन. तो यहाँ पे पंचायतीज और म्युनिसिपैलिटीज के इलेक्शन कौन कराता है? मैंने आपको कहा ऑलरेडी, स्टेट इलेक्शन कमीशन. ठीक है, स्टेट इलेक्शन कमीशन पंचायतीज एंड म्युनिसिपैलिटीज के इलेक्शन कराता है. ठीक है, और देन वी हैव डिस्कस्ड दैट election commission is headed by chief election officer, chief election commissioner, and he is assisted by other electoral election commissioners. तो फिर हमने वो फेज वाइज देखा कि for how many years election commission of India was a single member body, और उसके बाद then it became multi member body when voting age was reduced, तो उससे workload बढ़ गया. ठीक है, because a lot of people had to be included in the electoral rolls. तो उसके बाद again ये बनी है single member body because of the opposition, और उसके बाद presently it is a multi member body. और फिर हमने डिस्कस किया कि tenure क्या होता है, 65 years of age और 6 year term. ठीक है, whichever is earlier. और फिर हमने डिस्कस किया कि प्रेजेंटली कौन है चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर इंडिया का? सुशील चंद्रा है प्रेजेंटली, जो कि ही वाज अपॉइंटेड ऑन 13 अप्रैल, एंड पहला कौन था? सुकुमार सेन. ठीक है, बिकॉज एग्जाम्स में आमतौर पर आप पूछा जाता है कि हु इज द प्रेजेंट चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर ऑफ इंडिया, और ऐसा पूछा जाएगा हु वाज द फर्स्ट चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर ऑफ इंडिया. ठीक है, सो यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दीज नेम्स. और उसके बाद देन वी डिस्कस्ड दीज फंक्शंस. ठीक है, there are other functions, but I have here discussed just some important functions. So if you have any doubt or any confusion related to this topic, you can write to us in the comment section. Thank you so much.